Hey everyone, how you all doing? Aladians, non-Aladians, you all are welcome back again to my channel. Why are we filming today's video? I'm doing a study abroad Q&A. This Q&A, I put it up on my Instagram, and thank you for sending in your questions. So I'm going to answer all the questions to the best of my knowledge, I guess. And if you want me to put up a post for YouTube so that you guys can also ask questions, for those of you who are not interested in Instagram stuff, let me know in the comment section. Well, let me warn you, these questions are people sent in both personal questions and academic questions like study abroad. The first one, are you dating anyone at the moment? Insert cricket sound. Yes. The second question, dating tips for international students. Okay, dating tips. I am not an expert in the dating ministry, but if you want me to give you tips, the only tip I can give you here is just go out though. America is not like Nigeria, where you will be walking on the streets as a fine girl that you are, and a brother will be doing you, hey sister, Nkechi, Amaka, or you know, you are just walking on the street and then a guy will come and stop a fancy car or whatever car and say, hey, where are you going? Can I give you a lift? You know, that's how we kind of meet people. And then, but here, I think you can still meet people in church. You can meet people in school and on dating apps. I didn't meet who I'm dating on a dating app, okay? But I've seen people say it works for them. You know, because I was curious, after watching some videos online about people dating online, I decided to download Hinge to see for myself. So I didn't really use it, so I don't really have any advice for you there, but I would say explore those dating apps. Don't be like, oh, it's devilish, why should I go and find my husband or my wife on dating app? Please, you have to be civilized, okay? Here is not Nigeria. You can't meet people, as in people don't walk up to you how they will. Insert cricket sound. But you get what I'm saying, there's no come my darling, nah, I love you, no. Okay, so I'll say just be open-minded and you know, try and go for activities, join local clubs and stuff like that. So when I say local clubs, not like the club when they go dance, I mean like book clubs, all this type of church clubs. And I don't want to talk about dating again, it's okay. Have you experienced Nigerian passport renewal in the US? How hard was it, if yes? I haven't, but I think I know two people who have done that, and it was not a pleasant experience. They were ranting, they were not happy with the services they received. Did you learn how to drive in Nigeria or the US? Do you think it matters or is different? Okay, when I was in Nigeria, I didn't learn how to drive, okay? I only knew how to ride motorcycle, okada, you know, that's what I knew. So I learned how to drive just last year because I was about to graduate in my head, and I'm like, I need to know how to drive because it is a necessity to know how to drive and to have a car actually. So I learned it February last year. And I think driving is very different, even though I know I didn't know how to drive while I was back home. But if you see how people are driving here, you will know there's something definitely wrong back home. Yes. The next question is, please, can you help with SOP prototype for aspiring CS, that's computer science, and if you don't know what SOP is, statement of purpose, IT or cybersecurity students? Well, I would just say go to Google and type statement of purpose for computer science. Okay, that was what I did. That was how I got a prototype, and yeah, I think mostly, yeah, you see them on Google. Okay, I think that's the best place you can get something. You can even see for different universities, you can type Harvard, you can be more specific, Stanford. I mean, some people are generous and they've shared theirs online, so I would say take advantage of that. What is your work all about? Well, I studied computer science and engineering for my master's, and for my bachelor's I did computer science, so I am doing IT and computer science related work, if that answers your question. And okay, this person said, please, is it bad to study any business course in the US, and are there companies that hire business? I wouldn't say it's bad. I mean, if it is your passion, you really want to do it, then fine. But you know, the consequence is that you get only 1 year of OPT. But I heard that if you're doing an MBA, they are trying to modify stuff with the MBA, that if you do an MBA you can get like the OPT STEM extension, but that is not, I don't know 100% for sure, but I read something like that they are considering it, but I don't think they have made that law yet. But I don't know if you want to study it at undergrad level, I'm not sure. But remember, anything that is not STEM right now, you get only 1 year of OPT. What is the pass mark for graduate student? I heard it's 85. Well, really the pass mark would be a C. That's what I would say, because in graduate school, I don't know, like I can't tie a particular number to it, but I would say to be in your best behavior, just have a B. And for some schools, B can be 80, B can be something between 80 to 89, and in some schools it can be from 83 to 89. So to be safe, I'll just say anything from 80. That 85 you mentioned is safe, but there are some schools that 80 is still a B, okay? And in graduate school, I think your GPA is, you are expected to even have B at least in all your courses, I guess. But let's say things do not go too well, a C should still be acceptable, but then it would depend on your overall GPA, because some schools want you to be on a 3.0 before you can graduate, and you know, some maybe above 3.0, I don't know, but usually the minimum is 3.0. How can I cope with moving from Niger to the US, especially when I don't have family there? I would say it's not the easiest thing to do, that I would say first, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. When you move here, that's one thing I encourage people to do. Try to bring hard copies of your family members, you know, their pictures, excuse me. Like now in my apartment, I have pictures of my loved ones hanging here and there. For me, it works for me, and I try to keep in touch, like do video calls with my family members all the time. And then I try to make friends with the locals. You know, you're an international student, so make friends with people from Asia, America, Europe. Make friends, you know, you never know. So, and I've really made good friends, and they're like family to me. But just keep in touch with your family back home. Make sure you're doing video calls and all that. Try to adjust the time difference, you know, tell them about it, and you guys can make out something. And another question, how is life in Salt Lake? Is affordable or expensive? Well, compared to, I can only compare Salt Lake to where I moved from, which is Rapid City in SD. It's more expensive here, obviously, but I think I like the life here better, because there's more diversity here, and with food, churches, you know, there are African churches here and there are African stores here. So I think that's mainly why I prefer here to Rapid City. No offense, but yeah, that's just the major reason, and it's cool out here anyway. So affordable is relative, okay? Another question, do you have a boyfriend either in the States or in Nigeria? I already answered that. Salary review. Salary, no, it's personal, okay? I'm sorry. But if you want to see what my salary was as a teaching assistant, I'll put a video for you here to go check out. Do you ever worry about how getting married will flow with your decision to live in the abroad? Do I ever worry? I don't think so. There was one time I was, you know, I was just open to wherever, you know, if I find love wherever, you know, I don't mind. Like, I'm not 100% pro abroad. That's what I would say. I believe like if I find somewhere else that works for me, why not? And if my love interest is there, why not? There's no one rule, okay? I think, see, yeah, this love thing is strong. So I think there was a time I once considered maybe, I don't know, but it's not, let me just put it, it's not something that is a big deal for me. I think that's the word. It's not a big deal. The next question, what does living alone in the US feel like as a single young lady? Do you ever feel lonely? No, I do not feel lonely, because if there's anything I love in this world, it's my space. Like, I don't want you in my space. So I just enjoy being alone, living with myself. I know it's not a very good thing for some people. They will say, you don't want to get used to living alone too much. If not, how are you going to be married? Blah, blah, blah. But I think I enjoy my space, honestly. I really do enjoy my space. And yeah, I don't feel lonely. In fact, I'm too busy to notice that I am single, because there's work, there's YouTube, there are so many things, mentorship program, like there's a lot going on in my life. So to even notice I'm lonely, if that makes any sense. Hey girl, I'm a Nigerian and I want to know if all what they show you on TV, you know, all the flexing and enjoyment is real. Depending on your definition of flexing and enjoyment, but I will tell you, you can't sit at home watching TV 24/7 or just going to fun places. You gotta work. There are bills to be paid. You have to make the money, else you're gonna be kicked out. You're gonna be homeless in a twinkle of an eye, if you get what I mean. But I mean, when you work hard, you reward yourself by flexing, if that's what you mean. What advice will you give aspirants who still have a long time before studying abroad, feeling sad about it? I would say, do not give up. I mean, I started the first time before 2013, I was already thinking of coming to the US. But did I come in 2012 or 13? No, that was the first time I made an attempt to come to the US. But did it work out? No. When did I finally make it to the US? I think 2018. That was like 5 years later. And that was even 2013-12 was like the first time I even attempted. Before then, I had already started nurturing the idea, but it took a while to manifest. So I would say, if you're Christian, pray, also study, do your best, save up money, because those examinations and all those things, processing is not by mouth. So you have to like put in the work in the background and keep making sure you do your research and all that stuff. Do not be discouraged. It will happen someday for you. You just have to put in the work. I don't believe in miracle without some sort of work, I guess. Miracle happens, don't get me wrong, but you have to be prepared on your own part. Is your current job really a computer science / robotics related job? Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm on OPT, and if you can't really, let's say you studied business or you studied mechanical engineering, you cannot go and be doing computer engineering or computer science, if you get what I mean, because that's not what you studied. So the rule of the OPT is you have to do something related to whatever you studied. And another question is, do you have an idea of what it feels like to work with Apple and also reply your IG messages? Anyway, for your first question, what it feels like working with Apple, I do not work with Apple, so I do not know what it feels like. And about replying my DMs, I'm sorry, I'm just one person. I would love to, but I get tons of messages and I kid you not. So I try my best to reply as many as I can. Even sometimes my friend, he has my password and everything. Oh yeah, help me. We try our best, but we can't do it all the time because we have our lives, So I'm sorry if you feel offended, but there's really nothing I can do. Do you plan on moving your family to the United States? No. How soon did you start preparing your master's admission and everything after your NYC? The thing is, during my NYSC, I started writing the required exams and everything, I started doing my research. I did not wait for NYSC to be over. I started my NYSC in 2016 December, I think, November, December. That was when we went to camp. And then 2017 August, I started preparing for my admission because I knew I wanted to be in the US in 2018. So I started preparing. So I gave myself a year, and I finished serving, I think, in November 2017 also. So you can see I was already in the process before finishing my NYSC. Do not finish NYSC before doing that. If you're interested, make sure you start as soon as you start your NYSC. In fact, before you start your NYSC, because I started doing the research when I was in my final year in uni. I think that was still in the year 2016. I was in my final year in uni, and I started doing research already before even going to my NYSC camp. But when I started the NYSC camp, that was when everything became, when I started my NYSC, that was when everything became very intense. And if you don't know what NYSC is, for my non-Nigerian viewers, NYSC is like a program every Nigerian child does. You serve Nigeria technically for 1 year, community service and stuff like that. Okay, so it's compulsory so long as you're less than 30 years before your graduation date. You have to serve Nigeria. Next question: what's your advice for Nigerian students coming to the US for the fall? I kind of touched this on one of the questions. I would say prepare. Make sure you pack enough food as you're coming, because that first time when you're coming, you will, excuse me, why I am saying you should pack enough food is because, okay, I also have a video, I'll put it here so that you can go and watch all the things I recommend that you bring in, because that first time when you're coming, converting dollars to naira or your local currency is what will be happening for the first 2 weeks or first few months. And you do not want to say, this Maggi used to be 600 naira in Nigeria, why do I have to pay 2,000 naira for the Maggi? If you don't want to be in that situation, buy some things. If you get, you get me, okay? I'll put the link here for you to check it out, okay? So I would say prepare yourself and, start reading up stuff and, do the needful, okay? I don't really have much to say, but congratulations, you made it this far. And the next question: would you like to come back to Nigeria and base after your OPT and STEM time? When we get to that bridge, we are going to cross it. I think I have answered every question. I did not answer one question because that question was too offensive. I would say not really offensive, inappropriate. So yeah, I wouldn't want to answer that question on this channel, okay? It's a very personal question, and I don't know why someone would deem it fit. Maybe because I said ask away, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I want to give a shout out to some of my subscribers, and the shout out of the day goes to Mwila. I don't know how to pronounce your YouTube name, honestly. It's like Mwila, I don't know. And shout out to Chidima. I know people will be saying there are plenty Chidima here, but I'll try and put their usernames here so that you know which Chidima and which Mwila I'm talking about, okay? Thank you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I remain your host, Aladi-Ada. See you next time on my channel. Thank you for your support, I really appreciate you, and goodbye.